Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. Yesterday I made a video about the cruise lines and some of the representatives from the state of Florida that were proposing legislation to get the cruise industry restarted and kind of combating with the CDC. So in that video I mentioned that these cruise lines had perks for owning stocks, and so today I wanted to take a deep dive and kind of get down and look at those individual programs. So let's jump on in. All right, so the first thing I wanted to do is take a look at the actual individual stocks themselves. So we'll go in and put in Carnival. Let's put in Norwegian. And let's put in Royal Caribbean. We'll get rid of these. So we're on the bar chart website where you can compare individual stock companies. So this shows us the most recent pricing information from the New York Stock Exchange. So Carnival looks like they opened at 27 and they had a high of the day for 27.41. Looks like they closed at, funny enough, 27.27. Norwegian coming in a little bit higher, and they opened today at 29.33, and they finished today at 29.21. They had a high for the day of just over $30. And finally, we have Royal Caribbean, who opened up at 84.65. Looks like they closed the day at 85.81, just a little shy of their high for the day of 85.96. Now, when you think about each one of these three stocks over the last let's say 5 to 10 years, looking at their max in comparison, a lot of these all of them actually are pretty far off. So I believe Carnival, just off the top of my head, is probably their max is around 65, maybe off a few dollars, but I think I'm pretty close. Same thing with Norwegian. I think their max all-time high is around $60. And Royal Caribbean, I want to say that their high is somewhere around 135 historically. So there's a lot of upside with all three of these individual companies. Okay, so from there, let's look at the individual perks. All right, so this is from the Carnival's website. Just kind of bring this up a little bit. And so you'll see here, they've got it broken down into 3 tiers. So, number one, these benefits are based upon you holding at least 100 shares of their stock. So if you're taking a 6-day cruise or less, the onboard credit is $50. A 7-day to 13 days is going to get you a $100 onboard credit. And then a 2-week, 14-day or longer cruise is $250. So you can see how this could be advantageous. If you're taking, 1, 2, maybe 3 cruises a year of a week or longer, that's potentially $200-300 in onboard credits that you're getting back, on top of the fact that, holding this stock is going to grow over time. Now, these stocks aren't paying dividends, so that's one thing to take into account. But I think that having this benefit of getting these onboard credits for every single cruise that you go on is definitely, something that, in addition to the growth of the stock, makes it very appealing. So next, let's dive right into Norwegian. And so, here's from their website the exclusive perks package, and they're broken down into 3 days or 3 tiers, I should say, as well. A 50, a 100, and a 250, just like Carnival. The difference being in the number of days. So for the $50 credit, it's 6 days or less. For the $100 credit, it's 7 to 14. And then for the $250 credit, whereas with Carnival it was 14 days or longer, you've got to do 15 days with Norwegian to get the full capacity of 250. It's definitely something to consider. All right, so next we've got Royal Caribbean, and last but not least. And so with these guys, let me make an adjustment here. All right. So for them, and I want to go back and say for all three of the cruise stocks, the minimum expectation is 100 shares. I did verify that earlier. I was familiar with Norwegian and Carnival, but I wasn't sure about Royal Caribbean. But all three are 100 shares or more. And the filing process is pretty simple. You have a dedicated contact that you can partner with. You provide them the request to get that onboard credit when you book your cruise, and you with them validate that you are a shareholder of 100 shares or more, and they take care of it from there. I've personally experienced that, and it's pretty easy. But for Royal Caribbean, a 3-tier system as well, very similar to Carnival's. So $50 for 5 nights or less. And that's one thing that's different. So you don't have to hit that 6 days, it's just 5. And $100 onboard credit for 6 to 13 days, and then the $250 for 14 days or more. So there are some slight differences in these number of days that you get. It's very negligible, to say the least, but certainly something to consider if you're not brand specific. And I know a lot of folks that have cruised are very loyal to one. I find that as a consumer, it's very beneficial to experience all of them, and don't be beholden to just sticking to one cruise line, because what happens with that is eventually you become someone that they are not worried about leaving. And as a consumer, you always want to be willing to walk away if there's a better option out there. So anyway, just want to do a real quick video, and I hope that information helps you guys, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.